A Nikon or Nikon 23.5 to 280mm zoom lens, a vintage zoom lens back from the 90s, specially designed for Sony HTC cameras at that time, and famous manufacturer from Canon, from Fujinon, and from Ingenue, as well as Nikon, have been approached by Sony to come up with the best lenses ever made for their new designed $600,000 camcorders, or better cameras, made with 3 1-inch sensors and in full HD. That was the ultimate and the edge at that point in time, but proven is now that the lenses those manufacturers made, including Nikon, they cover a great range of today 4K cameras as well, and it has been proven and tested by me and others that those lenses made at that time and point are just gorgeous, just unbelievable great, and still shall be used today on 4K cameras and possibly beyond. Now, what you see here is a setup, not only the Nikon 23.5 to 280mm with its built-in extender to 1.5, which is flipped in, as you may see at the footage at the moment, but there's also an inline extender made by the famous company TLS out of England. It's a 1.4 extender. Now, if those extenders are being used, you lose for each extender 1 f-stop. Nevertheless, the lens by itself is unbelievable fast. 1.8, 1 to 1.8 speed, going all the way through into 16 and to close as well. So, in addition, what's very unique and typically not seen today anymore at such a huge, great, unique lens, you have internal focusing as well as internal zoom, meaning while you zoom from 23.5 to 280, or with the extender from about 35 to 420mm, you do not have any change of length of the complete objective. No moving on the outside barrel, including internal focusing, meaning you can put a matte box or compendium in front and nothing will change the length of the complete setup. Now, in order to balance this about 9 kilogram, meaning about 20 pounds lens by its own, I had to come up with an Aeriflex slider system as well as a TLS and as well as a dense razor. Now it works perfect, and I can balance not only this lens perfectly, even though it's quite heavy, but I can balance about any other lens on the market, from Nikon, from whatsoever, Ingenue, or from Canon, and still use on this setup with the JVC GY LS300 camcorder, 4K camcorder, must say, switchable down to HD, and the camcorder is capable since several months now to record in 4K at 150 megabit in 422, meaning 10 bit, and the outcome is just superb. You may scale down then later on by software to normal HD, or you may set up the camcorder also right from the beginning to HD. This camcorder by JVC is unique on the market as well. It allows you to use the Super 35 sensor to be cropped down all the way to a size of film camera lenses, Super 16 lenses, meaning using only the size of a 16mm sensor. So the camera can be continuously scaled down using only a part of the Super 35mm sensor, and you scale it down in the menu quickly and easy within seconds from 100%, meaning A35 Super 35 sensor, all the way down to 43%. That is covering, as I said, film camera lenses. Now I'm going to move the camera now and show it to you from all sides as good as I can in one shot here, and I will see what it's doing. I'll move here the outfit, and you see now about the center of the setup where the camera lens is being mounted and attached to the camcorder. I will see how that works without moving into the picture by my own. So here we start. Attached to the right side is still the control box for aperture and zoom, and that was being built by Nikon to meet the Sony HTC cameras, but at the moment this box is not being hooked up or utilized, so therefore the camera and the lens is strictly a manual lens. And I move now this lens to the original position again, and will zoom in a moment. Therefore, and then you will see more details. As you can see, the lens is being attached to the camcorder buy an adapter from PL mount, REPL mount, to Micro Four Thirds. Well, you may say the camcorder is having a Super 35 sensor, but since you are able to scale down the sensor to 43% and being able to use all kind of different lenses with certain adapters, you will just find out that this is a great way of doing it. JVC is about the only one who is having such a flexible means of attaching lenses of all kind of formats. As I said, from film, Super 16mm, all the way up to full format 4K lenses. Even so, the sensor in the camcorder is only a Super 35. But that is true with about all major camcorders during these days having a single sensor. Now, as you can see, there is the 1.4 times extender inline by TLS, which is a great piece of equipment. And also you can see the aperture control on the lens, ranging from stunning 1 to 1.8 through 16 and to close. In addition, you see the windows, both windows here in respect to the lens, and I will just slightly move down the camera so you can also see the adjustment levers and rings, which can be easily turned. And as you can see, those hand cranks allow you to change, as you can see on the window, the zoom internally all the way down to 23.5. Now, turning backwards to full will show you it's now up at 280. But consider, I have moved in here the 1.5 X extender, and inline already fixed mounted is the 1.4. Now you can move this extender back to 1, which gives you about a 33mm lens with this 1.4 extender, starting at 33mm as the widest angle. And if you move back in the 1.5, you have about a 50mm lens, and so on. Now, very unusual is also the combination of internal zoom and internal focus. This allows you, by hand crank, precisely focus the lens from about 2.5 meter distance, and it has been called a macro as well, and that's true, because with such a focal length going all the way down to 2.5 meters is just stunning. Yeah? As you can see here on the windows on the lens. Now, this lens was built, as said, back in the 90s for the most expensive high-definition cameras made by Sony and a few other manufacturers, but the price tag was around 100,000 US dollars. And today, compared to what's on the market available today, you will not find such a zoom lens below about 80 to 100,000 euro, meaning 120,000 US dollars. But then those lenses will not be having a motor for aperture and zoom attached. Well, it's not used now in this setup, but also they have no extender built in. This gives you a huge flexibility, and this lens has been tested numerous of times with 4K camcorders and cameras, including the Sony FS7 and FS5, and also the Panasonic GH4 and GH5 cameras and others. The most flexible setup I have found is the gorgeous JVC LS300 camcorder, and because of its flexibility to crop the sensor, it is, in my opinion, and also in the opinion of many people who know and have been coping with this camcorder, it's, in my opinion, one of the greatest camcorders. Also, the price tag is just unbelievable great. So I think at the moment I have covered about everything, and this lens can be seen by appointment. This lens can be tested by appointment at my house, and also you may get information in respect to other setups, and I certainly could assist you in many ways what is, in my opinion, the best setup for this lens and also for the GY LS300 camcorder by JVC. This is the end of the first part of this test, or this footage, showing you a great lens, hardly known at all on the market, and people who think this is not being able to cover 4K, well, they shall come to me. I prove them differently, because at that point in time, when Sony asked several manufacturers, as mentioned before, they did want the best glass, the best lens being built, and every of those manufacturers did try to comply with the request of Sony. They did want at that point in time to move from 35mm film to video, and the lenses just had to be immaculate good, the glass and so on. Therefore, just make sure you consider this lens as being one of the best zoom lens possibly ever built by Nikon. Thanks.